Yo, what's up everybody? Eyecee here and welcome to my NFL Week 6 Top 5 quarterbacks, running backs, wide receiver, and tight ends video. I put everything in one video this week, so you can find the timestamps at the bottom below. You can skip forward to the section if you're looking for a particular take. But yeah, let's just get right into it. My favorite quarterbacks this week. Number 5, my 5th favorite quarterback this week is Josh Rosen. He's been performing not that well, but he's also played against some of the toughest teams so far this season. The Ravens, the Patriots, the Cowboys, and the Chargers. Now he's up against the Washington Redskins, who have allowed the 6th most points to quarterbacks on a weekly basis. They've allowed 23.9 fantasy points. And I just like Josh Rosen here. He's at home. His options are available to him. Kenyon Drake, Preston Williams, Devontae Parker. I like all of them here, and he's coming in at number 5 for me. Number 4 would have to go to Case Keenum. Same matchup, same thing. Case Keenum's here. He's returning from an injury. I don't think he's too high owned. His price is fantastic. He's 500 more than Josh Rosen, but his options are a little bit better. He has Terry McLaurin coming back as well, who didn't play the last 2 weeks, I believe. So he did play last week, but they were against the Patriots, and they had that third quarterback they're using. So with him back, I look for Scary Terry to pick up where they left off, Keenum and Terry, against this Miami team that's been giving it up the whole season so far. So Case Keenum would be my number 4 pick. Number 3 would be Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray might be without some of his offensive options this week, but he's been performing consistently every single week. Against Seattle was a little bit of a slow week, but at the price you can't really go mad here. He's a little bit higher priced this week, but against Atlanta Hawks, who have been giving it up, he's in a great matchup here. Atlanta Hawks have been allowing 25.3 fantasy points per game, and he's at home this week, coming off of a nice win, hard-fought win against the mighty Cincinnati Bengals. I like this game here against the Atlanta Falcons, even if he's missing a couple of his pieces. He's my number 3 pick. Number 2, my boy Matt Ryan. I love Matt Ryan. Just like I always say, man, he's my boy, and I like playing my boys, and I like playing my boys, and a lot of my boys are now my boys. So Matt Ryan's just up there. I'm projecting him to be one of the top quarterback plays this week. Arizona is the 4th worst. They're allowing 24.8 fantasy points per game to the quarterback position. Matt Ryan has all of his offensive options here. You got Devontae Freeman, Julio Jones, my boy. I even like Mohamed Sanu. I'll talk about it later. And Austin Hooper's been hooping. So lots of options for him to throw to. I don't know who to pick here with the stack flow that I go with, but Matt Ryan is definitely the number 2 quarterback for me this week. I will be playing a lot of him. And my favorite quarterback this week, could you guys guess who it is? No, it is not. It is not Mahomes. I don't like Patrick Mahomes this week. Like, he's always in play, obviously, but he has a little bit of that ankle issue. And what's his face is coming back, Tyreek Hill, but he hasn't played in a long time, so I just don't like that. Combined with the fact they're playing against the Texans, and although they're not the great defensive team, I just don't like Mahomes at that much of a price. I'd rather go with Lamar Jackson, and here's why. Lamar Jackson is my favorite quarterback play of this week. He's 6,900. He is coming off of a bad week last week. 14.44 Draftkings points. Not good for his price. Unacceptable. But this week he's up against the Cincinnati Bengals team that is just terrible. They are horrible. They've been allowing the 8th or 9th most points to quarterbacks. They're allowing 20.4 fantasy points to quarterbacks. But they're the worst team when it comes to running back. And Lamar Jackson rushes a lot. He's averaging around like 12 attempts per game. Since I expect him to run a lot tomorrow against his Bengals team, and why not? When you can, and you're someone like Lamar Jackson, he's definitely going to run here. The only week he didn't really run was the first week, and that kind of brings the average down a little bit. Otherwise, the average should be higher. He's running every week. He's averaging good yards, and he's up against a team that allows the most rushing yards to running backs in particular. But this guy's like basically the second running back on the team. So I really, really like Lamar Jackson, and he's my number one pick for quarterback this week. Moving on to the running back position. I'm really high on Kenyon Drake here. Washington's not that great, and he's a great value pick at this price, so he'd be coming in at number 5 for me. At number 4, I like Chris Carson. Chris Carson's been seeing an increase in targets every single week. He was at 15, not every single week, but he was at 15. Now he's at 22. Now he's at 27. Now that he stopped fumbling the ball and they can trust him more, they're giving him the ball more. He finally got a touchdown after his only touchdown in week 1. I love the matchup here against the Browns, who have not been that great, especially last week. But Chris Carson is someone I really like at this price. I just like the volume upside here. I think he's going to get even more touches. So he's coming at number 4 for me. Number 3, I have to go with Le'Veon Bell. I haven't really played Le'Veon Bell all that much this season, but with the return of his quarterback, I expect Le'Veon Bell to be even more utilized here. Dallas has allowed a lot of people to go off on him so far, and Le'Veon Bell has been consistently performing. Week 3 against the Patriots, expectedly not the best week, but other than that, he's been doing well. I like his upside here against the Dallas team. That's who people might be scared to play him against. So he's coming at number 3 for me. Number 2 would have to be, for me, number 2. Number 2 is tough because I kind of messed up. But number 2, if Kamara ends up playing, I'm really, really high on Kamara, especially if this questionable tag lingers up until tomorrow. Jacksonville has just given it up to a lot of running backs in general. They're top 10 worst defense against the run, and Kamara is just one of the 2 go-to guys for Teddy Bridgewater's. Kamara should be one of the top running backs on this slate if he plays, and his ownership should be pretty low if he's questionable up until tomorrow. So that would be one of the main reasons I like him. Otherwise, I would go with Fournette here. He's just been seeing the most volumes when it comes to all the running backs. He's seeing even more touches than Christian McCaffrey. So Fournette against the New Orleans team is a little bit overrated in my opinion against the run. I like Fournette. He'd come in at number 2 for me. So essentially I'm giving you a top 6 here. And my top play of the week is Ezekiel Elliott. He's just due for a game. It's been a long time coming. He's in a great spot here. He's been doing well despite not seeing as many touches. He only saw 12 touches last week. He finally, I think is going to be seeing more touches, especially against the Jets team here, who have been surprisingly well against the run. What are the Jets against the run? So they're middle of the pack, but the last few weeks have been better. I really like Ezekiel Elliott here with Michael Gallup back and Amari Cooper probably back in a lot more healthy than he has been the past 2 weeks. I like Ezekiel Elliott here. He's definitely the guy I will be going with. And that rounds up my top 5 or top 6, I should say, for running backs. So again, number 6 was Kenyon Drake, I guess. 5 was Carson. 4 was Le'Veon. 3 was Kamara. 2 was Fournette. And number 1 was Zeke. Fournette and Kamara can alternate for me, depending on when we get that news. If it updates like in the next couple of hours, then Kamara's 3rd. If it updates tomorrow, Kamara's 2nd. Alright, top 5 running or wide receivers. Number 5, coming in for me at number 5. I'm a little confused. Not really confused, but I kind of like both here. I go with both Miami Dolphins wide receivers, Devontae Parker and Preston Williams. Both had good weeks last week. Preston Williams has been more consistent throughout the season, And Josh Rosen is getting more and more comfortable as the week goes by. I like both of these guys here against the Washington team that's allowing a lot of points to wide receivers. They're allowing the 4th most in the league, so they're averaging around 45.8 fantasy points per game to wide receivers. So I like both the Dolphins guys. They're in play for me here. Number 4 would be Adam Thielen. So the Vikings made an emphasis of targeting Thielen after he was whining and bitching. I was really high on Stephon Diggs last week when he let me down. So, hey, just like the Miami thing, Stephon Diggs could be the one to go off here because Thielen will see more coverage. But I just expect them to go to Thielen and just to keep him happy. Dalvin Cook won't really be that much in play for me this week, considering Philadelphia's defense is terrible against receivers and a lot better at the run game. So I think Thielen and Diggs would be in play here, and they'd be my number 4 pick. Thielen would be the pick, but Diggs could be the sneaky choice here. Number 3 for me would be Fitzgerald, old man Fitz. Without Christian Kirk's Bird, even if they play, I like Fitzgerald even more. Atlanta's been allowing a lot of points to wide receivers, and Fitzgerald should definitely be in play here. Great matchup. Price is good too. They're at home. I like stacking with Kyler Murray a lot, so he'd be my number 3 guy. Number 2 for me is Scary Terry. He's back. Case Keenum's back. I expect them to pick off where they left off. I expect the ownership to be a lot lower than it should be here. I like the price. Not really. I don't really like the price. I thought that was 5. Alright, but he's still good at this price. 6,000. Don't get me wrong. Case Keenum's back. He will be the guy that they target. Richardson had his chance to shine, although they were with the other backup quarterbacks. Didn't do too well. Trey Quinn could be in play here too with Case Keenum back. I like Trey Quinn again too, but it's all really, really debatable here. But Terry McLaurin is the guy I really, really like, and he'd be my number 2 wide receiver pick this week. Number 1, not Chark, it's Westbrook. I like Day Westbrook this week. The Saints have been allowing the 6th most points to wide receivers. I expect Chark to get double team, double coverage. Westbrook should get the easier night here. Lots of options for cheap catches. So Westbrook will be my favorite pick at the wide receiver spot. Just due for a game here. Hasn't caught a touchdown since week 1. So great matchup, great spot for him to really revitalize himself, I guess. So that rounds up my top 5. Once again, number 5, Preston Williams, Javonte are tied. Number 4, Thielen's the guy, but look out for Diggs. Number 3, Fitzgerald. Number 2, McLaurin, Scary Terry. And number 1, Day Westbrook. Alright, top 5 tight ends. So, tight ends. Coming in at number 5. My 5th favorite tight end, or number 5 tight end this week. Top 5 is Jeremy Sprinkles. So Jeremy Sprinkles is in a great matchup here with this price. Everybody's injured on this team. He is going to have a lot of opportunity to get the ball here, and especially with Case Keenum back. I really like him this week. Miami is not really that. Actually, Miami is the 5th worst against tight ends. So I expect this guy to get a lot of run here. Jeremy Sprinkles at this price, 2,600 with the other 2 guys out. He's the guy that's going to be playing, seeing the snaps. I really like him. He's my number 5 guy. Number 4, Mark Andrews. Mark Andrews has been questionable the whole week. He hasn't been practicing. He's up against the worst running team in the league. They can't stop a nosebleed. So I like Mark Andrews here. He should be used a lot, given a lot of opportunity here to catch the ball, just where he likes catching it. He's gonna see around 50% of the snaps as always, but he's seeing an average amount of targets per week, and he's making a good amount of those catching a good amount of those targets. So Mark Andrews would come in at number 4 for me. Then number 3 is my boy Austin Hooper, who's been hooping. I love Austin Hooper. He's in a great matchup this week. I love stacking him with Matt Ryan. Arizona is the worst in the league at defending the tight end position. Number 2 is Kittle for me. He's the highest owned tight end in my opinion, and for good reason. He's been performing really well, and if he remains questionable up until tomorrow, then I like him even more. Although he was added just yesterday, so with a groin issue. So keep an eye on that. If he doesn't play, then obviously we're gonna go to his backup, who I don't like. So we're not gonna go to his backup. So if he doesn't play, then this is the top 4. And my favorite play of the week at the tight end position is Zach Ertz from Philadelphia. Carson Wentz has been in form. People are talking Carson Wentz, but you can't really talk Carson Wentz without giving credit to Zach Ertz. He had a fantastic week last week. He's in a great matchup here, and the Vikings have sucked against good tight ends. They've done good against shitty tight ends, but they've been bad against good tight ends, and Ertz is a good tight end, and he's against the Vikings, who, like I said, have been bad against good tight ends. So I like Ertz. He's my favorite tight end play here. 5,400. Price is pretty steep, but he's a lot cheaper than Travis Kelce, who I think is a little bit overrated here at this price. And the matchup, Zach Ertz is my number 1 tight end for this week. So guys, that's my video for this week. Hope you guys have a great week 6. If you don't mind, please like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what I could do better. Let me know what your favorite plays are. I wouldn't mind chatting it up with you guys. It'd be great. Yeah, take care. See you next time. Bye bye.